what's happening? It's Saz here and welcome to Walker Wednesdays here on my channel, where today I'm going to be talking about mainly character deaths from season 8 of The Walking Dead. So firstly we've got Daniel. Daniel was one of the Kingdomers. I didn't mind Daniel, again didn't really know too much about him. When it all kicked off, when Ezekiel and the gang went to get the outpost, unfortunately Ezekiel lost pretty much all of his men and Daniel was one of them. I am going to add Daniel because we did see him as a walker, so technically it's a walker, and unfortunately Ezekiel has to put him down. Moving on, we have Shiva. R.I.P. Shiva. She's CGI and yet I cry. That's what I said. I was really gutted, but obviously reading the comics I gathered that Shiva wouldn't last the season, and being CGI, that's a lot of money, so I can understand why they had to do it. Yes, when Ezekiel is pretty much given up, Carol and Jerry, good old Jerry, I love my Jerry, are taking him back and they get surrounded by walkers. Shiva jumps in to save the day, but unfortunately she gets eaten by the walkers. I don't know why this death hit me so hard. I'm an animal lover, so regardless of any animal, I'm going to be upset. But again, straight from the comics, what a way to go. R.I.P. Shiva. Then moving on to Gavin. Gavin was one of the saviours, the leader of the saviours that went to the kingdom. So he was talking to Ezekiel a lot. I didn't mind Gavin. There was some of the things that he said, you could tell that he didn't really want to do it. But obviously being Negan, he wanted to do what was right, what he thought was right. So when they are at the kingdom, they are trying to find Ezekiel and bring him back to the sanctuary for Negan. As some of the group are trying to defend the kingdom, Gavin does manage to scurry away, only to be found by Morgan. You don't mess with Morgan, and he is debating whether to, do I kill this guy or not? And eventually, shock horror, Gavin gets stabbed in the neck by Henry. Now, I'm not a fan of Henry. Do I think Henry should have killed Gavin? No. Henry should just... no. But yes, unfortunately Gavin is killed by Henry. Henry's on his own little mission trying to find out who killed his brother. Morgan, on the other hand, is still trying to... do I kill them? Do I not? He's in that kind of weird mode that Morgan was at that point. Then moving on, if I'm pronouncing this right, you've got Tamil and Brion. Jadis's right-hand people. Pretty much all the scavengers were killed in season 8, apart from Jadis. Simon decides to go to the scavengers, and basically they've all got to go. In Simon's eyes, Simon went a bit cray-cray and decides to kill everyone apart from Jadis. So obviously Negan's saying that, it wants everyone to work together and maybe only one has to die, but Simon doesn't believe that at all, and he is on a mission and he goes and kills all the scavengers. But Jadis is very clever. She pretends that she's already dead. She covers herself in blood. Very good way to do it, and how she didn't blink in the wrong moment, that was very clever. But there you go. All of Jadis's people were gone. So from that moment I kind of saw a different side to Jadis, or as Anne, as she's now known. I did feel sorry for her because, that's everything that they built up. They didn't really want to be bothered by anyone else. They just did their own thing, chilled out in their scrapyard, didn't really want to bother anyone else. But Simon decided it was different and killed all the scavengers. Then moving on to Tobin. Tobin, again, didn't really know much about, so I wasn't too bothered. You kind of thought, oh, will Carol and Tobin be a thing? When they are at the hilltop, Tobin did get infected with an infected knife, I think it was, or a gunshot, that was covered in walker guts, because Negan realised that you don't technically have to kill them, you just have to cover your weapons in walker guts and whatnot, and they'll still get infected and eventually die anyway. So Tobin is a victim of this infected bullet, I think it was, I can't remember exactly, but he gets injured with an infected thing. And unfortunately in the end, during the night, Tobin does die and turn, and eventually people start to turn and it all goes down at the hilltop. Eventually Carol does find Tobin in all of this madness and she eventually puts him down. Then we have Jared. Jared was one of the saviours. At first I didn't like Jared, I just thought he was an asshole and really annoying, just really cocky and thought he knew everything. But it was only until he actually died and Morgan kept on seeing him coming back. He was actually kind of funny. I liked Jared. I was like, why did you have to die to be funny? So again, when Morgan and Rick are stuck in that warehouse with some of the saviours, Rick's trying to say, look, just come back with us, everything will be fine. Morgan, on the other hand, he is adamant that he needs to kill these people. Jared gets locked into a room, I think it is, with the gate, and Morgan is face to face with Jared. The walkers are coming in and eventually Jared gets eaten by the walkers. Then moving on to Simon. Oh, I really did like Simon. I thought he was really funny. Definitely a Negan 2.0. Very funny in some of the things he said. But he was going against Negan. He had to go. So eventually Negan kind of finds out. Negan's smart. He knows something's going on. And he realises Dwight and Simon are working against Negan in some way. Simon just wants to kill everyone when Negan doesn't, and Dwight is pretty much on Team Rick, but still going back to the Sanctuary to kind of spy and tell Rick what Negan and the Sanctuary are trying to do. So eventually Negan says, if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. And it's a proper Fight Club wrestling match between Negan and Simon. And eventually Negan doesn't even need Lucille at this point and strangles Simon to death. I did not like it at all when this fight was happening because you know I'm a Negan fan. I really did like Simon as well. I understand why Simon had to go, but I'm still not over it. And I hated seeing Simon as a walker. Oh, but unfortunately he had to go. He was backstabbing Negan, so Negan couldn't trust him and had to kill him. Finally, for season 8, we have Carl. It's got to be mentioned. I don't know why. I am still confused why they killed off Carl. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a Carl fan in the beginning, the early seasons. I just thought he was kind of an annoying child. As I've said before, I don't think children work in the apocalypse, that's just me. But coming through sort of season 5, season 6, I really started to, you know, get to know this character, and he was growing as a character and I really loved everything Carl stood for and everything like that. And then they go and kill him. What? Now I know some people don't care, some people love Carl and refuse to watch anymore. Let me know down in the comments, what did you think of the whole Carl situation? Were you bothered at all, or are you just not going to watch at all? So when Carl is out, we get a nice flashback from sort of season 1. Carl's looking round an old gas station and comes across Sadiq. Sadiq is from the comics. Then Carl tries to follow Sadiq and finds him in the woods. So then Carl and Sadiq are talking and you kind of get the fact that they're on the same page. You know, they want to honour people. So Carl decides to gonna take him back to the community anyway and help Sadiq along the way. And on the way they come across a few walkers. They think, no problem, we can get rid of these guys. And unfortunately it gets a little too much. Carl falls down. And it's not announced at that point, but Carl falls down and gets bitten on his side. I called it. I thought he was going to get bitten because just the look on his face, he was really shocked. But then Carl, being Carl, the trooper that he is, said, yep, I'm fine, and carries on. Later on, we obviously find out that that is when he got bitten. Oh my goodness. And obviously it's in a place you can't cut it off or anything like that. So we know what's going to happen. So that was the mid-season finale. Coming straight back into season 8, obviously we need to find out, well, he's been bitten, so we kind of know how it goes. And we just see that bite play out. I hated this. Carl's not my favourite character. But just the things that he said when he was talking to Rick and Michonne, when he said to Michonne that you're my best friend. Oh my God, hit me in the feels. When he was talking to Rick, saying, Dad, there's got to be something after, I love you. just everything. I was just blur, gone. I was crying my eyes out. And again, not a favourite character, but just the situation and saying goodbye to Judith, hello, giving her the hat, oh my goodness. And eventually Carl says, no, I've got to do this before I turn. So we just see Rick and Michonne outside the building and you just hear a gunshot. Oh my God. Hit me in the feels. I kind of see why they did it in the TV show, because they wanted it to progress the story. So Rick will think, right, I've got to live by what Carl says and trying to stop everyone fighting. But on the other hand, Carl is still alive and kicking in the comics. All Out War finished and Carl was still alive in the comics. Why? Why did they have to do it? But there we go, that's it. I'm still going to watch, obviously, because I'm an avid Walking Dead fan, so I still continue to watch. So they were just some of the character deaths from season 8 that stood out for me. Let me know down in the comments if I've missed any out, or what did you think of season 8? So there we are. That's all the Walker Wednesdays. We got there in the end, right from season 1, right up until season 8. So every Wednesday now on my channel, I'll be doing a quick chit chat about my Fear the Walking Dead reactions, and we can talk about the episode. So I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. If you did enjoy this video, then please remember to give it a big thumbs up. That would really help me out a lot. And if you are liking these videos and you want to stick around, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to find out when I do more of these videos. And if you are liking the videos and you would like to help support the channel just a little bit, then I am on Patreon. Come and join the family. We've got blooper videos, my older reactions from The Walking Dead, season 1, season 2, stuff like that. So come on, join the family for your chance for a shout out in my next week's video. And I'll see you Friday for my update chit chat video. Boy, have I got some things to talk about. It's been a rough couple of weeks. So I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. And until next time, check you later.